Hi, this is Dan Wickwire, and in this session we'll begin a new section about historical events, starting with question 180. The question is this: After creating the world, did God rest on the seventh day to leave an important example for mankind to follow? Yes, in the Bible, but no, in the Qur'an. In the Bible, when the day of rest is mentioned, it calls it the Sabbath, or Sabbaths, and in the Hebrew it would be Shabbat. Look at the Ten Commandments. Keeping the Sabbath is one of the Ten Commandments in Exodus 20, 8 through 10. Here's what it says: Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. In it you shall do no work, you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male servant, nor your female servant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger who is within your gates. So this is one of the Ten Commandments, and we see that it's mentioned many times. It's actually mentioned over. It's mentioned 110 times altogether in the Old Testament, and it's mentioned 35 times in the New Testament, giving a grand total of 165 times that the word Sabbath is mentioned. Look at Exodus 23:12. 6 days you shall do your work, and on the seventh day you shall rest, that your ox and your donkey may rest, and the son of your female servant and the stranger may be refreshed. Again, in Exodus 31:13-17, it says this: Speak also to the children of Israel, saying, Surely my Sabbaths you shall keep, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that you may know that I am the Lord who sanctifies you. You shall keep the Sabbath, therefore, for it is a holy to you. 6 days may work be done, but in the seventh is the Sabbath of rest, holy to the Lord. Therefore, the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations as a perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, and on the seventh day he rested, and he was refreshed. Now, we find this mentioned in the New Testament as well in the book of Hebrews. Hebrews 4:4 and 9 through 10. For he has spoken in a certain place of the seventh day in this way, and God rested on the seventh day from all his works. There remains therefore a rest for the people of God. For he who has entered his rest has himself also ceased from his works, as God did from his. So, while if you look at the mentions of the Sabbath in the Bible, it points us back to the Creator in Genesis 1 through 3. God, Yahweh, he created from his rest. He created rest, Genesis 2, 2 to 3. It is the fourth commandment, as we've already pointed out in Exodus chapter 16 and 20. Yahweh wrote it with his own finger in stone, Exodus 16 and 20. It's a symbol of our salvation in Exodus 31:17. We are to remember that Yahweh delivered us from sin in Deuteronomy 5:15. In Hebrews 4, it remains today. Jesus, or Yeshua, he is the Lord of the Sabbath in Matthew 12:8. The apostles kept the Sabbath. It's Yahweh's seal of authority in Exodus 31:17. It's a blessing in Revelation 22:14. It will be kept forever, Isaiah 65:17, 21 to 22, and 66:2, 22 to 23. And it's a lasting covenant, Exodus 31:16. So these are some of the important aspects of the Sabbath in the Bible. Now, when you come to the Qur'an, Qaf 50 verse 38 says this: Verily, we created the heavens and the earth and all that is between them in 6 days, and never were we touched by fatigue. So here it's kind of going in the opposite direction of what the Bible teaches. It does not injunction believers in the Qur'an to observe the Sabbath. It actually kind of teaches the opposite. The Quran acknowledges the historical Sabbath of the Jewish tradition, but it does not adopt it as a day of rest for Muslims. The day of rest for Muslims is Fridays, what they call Juma. This can be seen in 62, 9 through 11, but there is no injunction for Muslims to keep the Sabbath. And in fact, there's only a couple of places that it's mentioned: Baqarah 265, Nisa 4 154, and Araf 7 163. These are places where the word Sabbath is mentioned, but it's only mentioned as something that the Jews observed. And in fact, if you look at 265, it says this: "And you know, those of you who broke the Sabbath, how we said to them, you shall be detested apes. We made their fate, or changing into the state of detested apes, as an example of their own generation and to those who followed them, and a lesson from the God-fearing." So here, this verse is saying that God punished the Jews who did not keep the Sabbath by turning them into apes. Actually, this is taken from Jewish folklore in the Midrash. This is a fable. It's not part of history. It's not part of the Bible. But it's, you'll find many places in the Quran where it uses Jewish fables and cites it as something that really happened. And this is just one example. So for Muslims, the day of rest, or the day of worship, is on Fridays, and that their Friday that they keep, the Juma, you can do work on that day. It's not a day of rest. You can work. You just have to go to the mosque on Fridays, which is what a lot of Muslims do worldwide. And so the question is this: after creating the world, did God rest on the seventh day to leave an important example for mankind to follow? Yes, in the Bible, but no in the Quran.